Ya me pusieron
There we go.
I couldn't figure out after they shot the hell out of him up. They shot you, but you still lived. I mean, and they were right over you. What were they?
Yes. Well, they shot him once, and it was hit here, and then me. I was like, all through the back.
And then
Yeah, but they shot him 3 or 4 times too.
On the jacket, though.
No, yeah.
Right?
Well, also partially he covered me with his body, and also they just aren't good shots, I guess.
So besides those, they missed you a lot earlier.
Besides those sequences, violent sequences, and action, everybody's saying that they love the conversations that you guys have. Is pretty funny. I mean, was any improvisation in that?
Yeah, I mean there was some improvisation. I think 95% of it was written. But the thing is that we rehearsed this so much that we would always try to do different things. You know what I mean, to make it, because if not, rehearsal can get kind of boring. And so we kept trying to stump each other, and do different things. I remember he would throw a ball at me or something, different little things to try to make it alive. Because this movie lives and dies off how real it is and how improvisation it looks, and that's what we wanted to do from the very beginning. I remember there was a couple times that he stumped me when I was like, "What? Oh, he started the scene. Oh, good. With any kind of question or whatever." And but there was a couple of things that we kept saying over and over and over again. Like David kept saying, "You should marry a Mexican girl." Really good, huh?
It always said that to me, and that came from that whole scene is improv. Yeah, that scene because it came from Dave saying that.
And I was a coffee lover, but I think I'm the coffee lover. Really, well, at that time I was. I don't drink coffee anymore, but I read stuff white people like.
I love that.
I was like, I gotta toss it to him.
He was about to throw sea salt out there.
There's no donuts on this, right?
And my favorite one is taking a year off.
So this movie obviously has a lot of comedy in it. And last time Michael and I talked was for Tower Heist, and he was like, I don't know if I'll do any comedy, but he was really comedic, even though it was very real and dramatic. So,
but this was interesting because I just saw him in a play, by the way. That's fantastic, really, really great play, and he's awesome in it. And what's really hard to do, which I'm super proud of, is what we did was make comedy out of life, and that's the hardest kind of comedy to do, the Tower Heist and those things. I'm like, there was obviously comedy and you were doing punchlines, but here a lot of the time it was like us fighting in a way. You're like, why would you do that, man? And then the comedy comes out of there. The comedy also comes out of two guys that are brothers, you know what I mean, that can get mad at each other, be really honest. And when there's a lot of honesty, then I think it's awesome kind of comedy, because I'm like, if I said, I think you should marry a Mexican girl, I'm like, I think it'd be awesome. You'd be around more often.
Yeah, were there any pranks in set? Was a lightheaded, it was a very dramatic when you're shooting. When they would say cut, was it fun? Were you guys?
All the time. We were sitting in a car together all the time. I mean, what about that time we were on a ride along to police? They joked us. They took us down an alleyway, and they took us down an alleyway, and they were like, shh, they pulled out their guns, and we were following. And then all of a sudden, we heard pop, 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 like there was some sort of gunfire, and they had thrown firecrackers down. And Michael and I were like,
So it seems like you have fun. But Jake, did you learn something about the Hispanic culture during the process of the?
Yeah, I mean, oh wow, sorry. Oh, I gotta take this. No. Sorry, that's very, very.
It was me calling you.
Hitting me from all sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, just being around the neighborhood, particularly, all different facets of it. But I'll start with the neighborhood first in Southeast LA. Just being in that neighborhood for 5 months. Not specifically in the the violent scenario, which we were in a number of times over 5 months of doing ride-alongs 2 or 3 times a week, But when it came down to hanging out in the neighborhood and being amongst the people, 95% of the community there is incredible. the families I see, the people I interacted with, the food that was there, you know, everything there made me fall back in love with LA. Like I was born here and raised here in a completely different part of Los Angeles.
Tacos?
You know?
We went to the hood to have tacos, and he's like,
Yeah.
because they make them a little bit different, and it was really cool.